I would have 2 weeks worth of the good, high quality running socks, of which I currently have 2 pairs, and the amount of limbo that I do in my brain of when I want to utilize my good socks is so stupid. Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Happy weekend, folks. If you're watching this on the weekend.
If you have weekends.
Yeah. If you
All
watch
right.
our videos.
If you observe the weekend. Yeah, right? If all 2 of you watch these. Okay, here we go. We just thought that it would be fun this weekend to recap what we would do if we suddenly came upon a pile of money, be it through a secret relative that was royalty, or the winning of the lottery, or our podcast suddenly blowing up and making us rich. These are the signs that you'll know we've made it to that level. Do you want to kick it off?
Yes, I love it. Okay. Well, I couldn't tell if we were going to be like funny or serious because sadly, me and Kenny have had a conversation multiple times about what we would do if we won the lottery, and we have like very specific action plans, but I'm going to keep it lighthearted today. But what I will tell you is that I would 1,000% buy land and make a compound. Not a compound, that sounds dramatic, but like a land full of houses where all of the family could live.
Yes, you took one right off my list as well, so I will just skip ahead, but I put the immediate purchase of unrestricted land so that our dreams of just having a landing place can commence. So whatever that looks like, if you want a section to build on, or we'll make a section of tiny homes. Also, we definitely need some weird animals. I don't know what that looks like exactly. I am pretty certain that I could raise meat birds and slaughter them myself.
Oh, wow.
I think I would be mentally capable of doing that with chickens or a bird. I don't feel much attachment to birds or the chickens I own. My husband could not. But let me tell you, I could not eat a cow that I've raised because cows seem to have a soul behind their eyes. Let's not get me started on this. Yes, immediate. Dream scenario, having alpacas so I could shear them for their wool.
And then what would you do with the wool? You have to make something out of them.
Make something with it or sell it. I don't know. It just sounds so fun. And they're so cute.
That's funny.
And a big garden. I guess it's me. No, whatever. It's your turn, but who cares? What really made me think of this the other day is that I had a matching brown underwear set on, and I just thought, man, if I ever make it, I will have matching sets for every day of the week, but probably 2 weeks worth or 10 days worth, so I don't have to do weekly laundry.
Yes, needed a little bit more than a week. Speaking of undergarments or things, I agree with you there, but I figured you're going to have that on your list, so I switched to a lifetime supply of high quality socks that never get lost and never get holes in them. Or I guess if they do, that I have a lifetime supply to go back on. The sock situation in this house is absolutely ridiculous. I guess I'm buying cheap socks and they just have holes in them so fast. So
Yes.
high quality socks.
You also wear socks in your house, and I usually raw dog my feet on the floor. But I also had that for, I would have 2 weeks worth of the good, high quality running socks, of which I currently have 2 pairs, and the amount of limbo that I do in my brain of when I want to utilize my good socks is so stupid. It's so dumb. I probably could set some money aside right now and just buy some, but yes, they're like $20 a pair. I'm just way too cheap to spend that much, but if I had the funds, boy, I would have good socks.
I love it. Speaking of clothes and socks and things, I would just really love to invest in a closet organizer. And when I say closet organizer, I mean completely gut out the closet, put new shelves in, and then have someone come in and organize my stuff accordingly. Like color code my shirts, hang my pants, put my undergarments in a way that like feels great when I open the door. Do you know what I mean? If I could pay someone to just revamp my whole clothing situation and throw on a few new pieces, yeah, that'd be great.
To have a bra drawer where you can just pull it out and they're all there instead of shoved in a
100%.
drawer. Okay.
All crinkles.
Yes, just mashed up in there. Okay. I would definitely, if I arrived at a level of having fuck you money, I would definitely leave a traditional job. No more working for anyone else. I am now my own boss. Maybe I definitely rope you into some type of partnership. Also, I know this sounds lame as hell, but I would also really love to do some kind of one-to-one charity situation where, like how Tom's shoes, they used to say you buy a pair, but it's the
Hmm.
cost of two pair. Doing something of that fashion so that it's self-sustaining and also so that my charity project or my non-for-profit is actually providing a good and service instead
Hmm.
of just existing to pay its board members and fund its own fundraisers that raise enough money just to cover the cost of the fundraiser where everybody just basically jerks each other off about how they're a good person and nothing actually changes.
I agree. I would agree with that. I can't, I wouldn't want to work for somebody else, but I wouldn't want to not work. So I would open or start or invest. I would have the money to invest in having my own business or, yeah, doing something fun with you or doing my sourdough or just something, even if it's something silly, like just to have something to do. I'd go crazy if I had nothing to do.
I- Something that was mine.
Well, that was mine too. Sorry. What? Okay. Anyway.
I will also say you will know that I have arrived to a certain amount of financial stability when I can schedule weekly massages.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Weekly. Such a big difference, dude. Yeah. Okay, you'll know when I've arrived to wealth, rich manhood when I have a chef. That is the top of my
Thanks.
list. If I can afford it, I don't, I know it's so bougie. I love good food and I want to be healthy, but me making the good, healthy food is kind of a pain in my ass and I don't have the time for it. So I would love a chef. I would love a chef that just has ultimate access to all the things. And I could just be like, can you whip this up for dinner? I'm craving this. Oh my God, what a blessing that would be.
I just like hearing you talk about this. I would definitely end up with more tattoos if I had fuck you money. And they would definitely venture beyond the limits of a long sleeve shirt. I don't want a full neck tattoo and I don't want a full hand tattoo, but I just would not feel so stuck upon the having the make sure that I can be not judged at an interview. Maybe these would eke up here a little bit or just kind of that little like peak at the top of a anyway.
You don't have anyone to tell you not to do it.
I know because I'm working for myself and myself says go
Exactly.
for it, girl.
Exactly. Okay, I would continue to buy the expensive eggs, but I would do it so much more guilt-free and not cringe every time I pick up a 12 pack and it's like $8.
Or you would live on my unrestricted land with me and we would have chickens.
Well, I thought about it. If I have the land, then I could have the chickens, but I don't want to potentially deal with chickens, so I could hire someone to deal with the chickens.
We'll just put the chickens on my half of the
Okay,
property.
there you go. That would be
That's
even
fine.
better.
Perfect. Squared away. I'm not saying this for brownie points, but I would definitely, legitimately buy my husband a second motorcycle. It's also for very selfish purposes so that we can still have our Road King without a windshield for riding about. But if we wanted to do long trips on the interstate, we would get one with a fairing so that there was slightly less swirling wind. And so that I am not having to actively hold my neck forward.
Yeah.
Um, there's huge difference. Anyway, he would have a bike number two and be taking me places.
I love that. Oh yeah, I forgot all about the whole actual realistic conversation we've had. When I say realistic, I mean it's unrealistic, but it's paying off all debt, paying for our family's debt, buying houses for our families, buying land, buying a lot of cars, buying a lot of rental properties, and then doing our own businesses. That's the conversations we have if you really wanted to know. But on that list, I would say definitely Kenny's got like a if we won X amount of lottery dollars, we already know the percentage of money that he would have to do his like car stuff. And then there's another big chunk that I would just love to buy a bunch of rental properties. And honestly, that would be a fun like job
Yeah.
to like manage rental properties, like on the back end, like very back end. Because I love that. And that'd be fun to have.
I, similar to Kenny, would have a vehicle budget set aside if I have reached fuck you money and we can just dick around. I have identified the following purchases. Something in the range of a 69 Cadillac DeVille, the big old bomb with that big old steering wheel and the column shifter.
Yes.
Bro, I don't know how we'll be parking and it probably won't go well, but new paint job, new interior, big speakers, we're out here. Next will be the purchase of a Chevy C10 I don't know enough about them to know the years, but it's one of the old, big, boxy, old school body trucks. And then I will bobble around in that with my, eggs and whatever the fuck else came from our property. Last but not least, something that's new and something that's fast. I'm not quite
Mm.
sure what it would be yet. Likely American Muscle, probably a Dodge. No offense to Kenny and his Corvette life, but something where I can really be a menace to society.
I could see that. Speaking of cars, my last one is to have a driver. Not all the time because I like to drive, but sometimes I just don't feel like driving. I'd rather sit in the back seat and do whatever I need to do on my phone or just not think about it.
I
So, like
like that.
a part-time driver that I can call at any point.
That's perfect. I will just round this out by saying that I would probably need an Italian villa or somewhere in Spain
Oh,
so
that's a
that
great
we
idea.
can do some European timeshare months. All the decorations, just Christmas, Halloween, absolute insanity. Just, oh my God. I would definitely commission regal oil paintings of my dogs just
Oh
for
my
my
gosh.
own entertainment. And then uh, I would also have weird rooms of my house, like a joke bathroom for guests that had like fart noises randomly when you
That would
did
be fun.
things. Or like if they open the medicine cabinet, it makes like an alarm sound, to catch the snoopers. Cause I wouldn't actually care, but it would just be funny to freak people out. And also, just to round this out, I would really love to have fucky money where I can become my own boss so that I may have the full breadth of my jokes and sarcasm available for our recordings that I now feel I have to keep somewhat of a lid on because I do ultimately need to have a day job, which I am quite thankful for.
I love it. Those are all great,
And until
especially the
next
fart
week,
bathroom.
I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.